So we've got Doug Weiss with me here today, and Doug is the digital media manager at The Giving Company. But he doesn't just do that. He also has his own consulting company. Um, you've been a social media guru for a lot of years. You're also, I think, aren't you still the current NRB Internet or the digital committee chairman?
Yes.
For the internet. So you've got your plate is spinning in a lot of different areas, Doug. So just give us a little bit of background about your journey, about what's the experiences that you've had before coming to the Giving Company that have really allowed you to be in a good spot to be able to talk about organizations that are really looking to do ministry in the digital space.
Sure. Yeah. So for 20 years, I served on staff with Campus Crusade for Christ International in various capacities, and mostly with the Jesus Film Project. So I served mostly in marketing, communications, kind of like production side, like more like storytelling, and then also in digital marketing. So I I basically helped Jesus Film launch their digital channels early on, and so that was exciting. So so my experience was with them, and then transitioned into working with Christian Cinema and the National Bible Bee. So my background really is heavily on the digital side, with ministries and organizations in the media space.
That's fantastic, especially your experience with the Jesus Film. I mean, taking that from I think it started as a reel-to-reel film, wasn't it?
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Way back in the day, and then converted it to the digital space. I know you guys over there, when you're over there, you're doing some really creative, cutting-edge things. And just in terms of getting the Jesus Film in lots of different venues from when this thing called the internet came along. You were kind of at the front edge of making that available for folks. What was that like? The innovation side of that.
It was incredible. I mean, when I was there, we saw really the transition from the real, films of projectors being shipped to all over the world to, I mean, I was there when the last projector was shipped out, and they transitioned to and those are still going on, still being used around the world, even though they're not shipping them. So to very much of a digital centric, platform. So an app. So they spent a lot of time developing an app that you can download, or you actually have access to all the Jesus Film in most of the languages, and then a lot of the short films that I was part of in producing, and then just a number of other really kind of film-based resources. And the app is really unique that in the hands of anybody, they can walk up to a person, ask for their email address, and send them a film in their own language. And so that's amazing. What's incredible about it.
That's really good. And so now your work with the Giving Project or the Giving Company. I'm sorry, with the Giving Company. I know you're involved with their social media. You're involved with their advertising side of things. And you're going to be doing a session specifically on some of the trends in digital advertising that ministries are seeing. Can you just talk to us a little bit about what are some of the trends in digital advertising that you're most excited about right now?
Yeah. So what we're seeing that it's really working well is really for ministries to go beyond just Facebook. I know a lot of ministries and I know that's going to be discussed as buying Facebook ads, and that's so important. But seeing ministries use or going and using an omni-channel approomproach to just their marketing and communications and thinking.
So omni-channel, talk a little bit about what is omni-channel, and is that a concept? Is that a company? Or talk a little bit about omni-channel for those that may not be that familiar with it.
Yeah, so omni-channel is approach of using really like mixed advertising models. So you have everything from um, Facebook, you have email, you have display ads, which are banners on sites, and then also CPL, which is cost per lead. And so using like a combination of all those channels, we're seeing ministries really have great successes in many ways, especially right now, just on the email and also the CPL side.
No, that's really good. So talk to us a little bit about when you say, that really is about a multi-channel approach to marketing in the digital space. Talk to us about some of the successes that you have seen. Like, what are some of the actual results that ministries are seeing when they approach it from an integrated approach to their advertising dollars?
Yeah. So one particular ministry we saw, they they are an organization that was reaching children mainly in person, and so because of COVID, they had to make a huge shift in their model now to go online to virtual to reach their audience, and so they made that shift, and then they had to kind of think their advertising approach. So they came to us and with a mixed model of CPL, email, and I can't recall if they're doing display, but anyway, just to bring a bigger audience to them, because they had so many people that could come to their in-person events, but now that went virtual, they have an opportunity to reach so many more people. So through the CPL campaigns and the email campaigns, we've seen a really good success for them, just in the response and just the awareness for them.
So let me ask you this. I
Yeah.
mean, you have worked with a lot of different ministries, both working inside of a ministry and now working with an organization that serves lots of different ministries. You've consulted with a lot of ministries.
Mhm.
What do you say to the ministry who's like, we don't have the money to spend on paid advertising for the digital space? What do you say to those folks?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think what they would look at is like, okay, what do they have in hand that is their owned media channels? So their owned media channels would be Facebook. Though some people could say that's rented. There's their email lists, and just any type of maybe just hard, other contacts that they have that are owned media. And so really beginning to like utilize those to look at building their kind of owned media further. If they don't have budgets, maybe, or if they have a small budget, even looking at $100, you could put into Facebook to increase their list just simply by uploading their email list that they already have, and then creating a lookalike audience and growing it from there, or even going to their current audience and saying, hey, who are some other people that you can really refer us to, or who would you like that would be interested in learning more about our ministry. So I think there's definitely some creative approaches on a limited budget.
That's really good. There are some creative. Another one is the Google Grant. That's available to every nonprofit.
Yes.
What is it? $10,000 of free advertising in kind exchange through Google.
Yeah, and so with that's I'm glad you mentioned that, because with the Google Grant, it's $10,000, and really learning how to utilize that grant to the fullest, so you get the maximum spend on there, because there's many things that ministries could do with maximum conversions, and also, that they got their bid, making their bids really high, that you can do, with that grant that you may not do if it was, if you were doing a paid account. And so I think that's really the key for ministries, is learn, if you do get a grant, which, there's a process to go through to get that, is really try to get the maximum spend out of it each month.
Yeah, and that can be kind of tricky, can't it? Because
Oh yeah.
both in terms of getting the maximum spend, as well as making sure that your ads stay qualified. Because if you don't pay attention to it, you'll disqualify and you'll lose that grant.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other thing that I've seen with ministries is a lot of times they look at advertising budget as a cost expense, and really not realizing, hey, this really is about an investment, and not just in what is this return going to be in the next month or 2 months, which there should be a return in that, but it's about what is the lifetime value of your new constituent. And and the nice thing about digital is you can track where those new folks are coming from. So when you find the right pool, the right pot that really is bringing the people that really connect with your ministry, and measuring that lifetime value of that folks, it really makes the advertising dollars, like, man, it's not so much an expense. It's like the more that we can put in this, the more long-term value that we'll be able to gain from it. And do you have those kinds of conversations with folks as well?
Oh yeah, certainly. Like, we, especially on the CPL side, like, so for a ministry to really be effective in their CPL campaign, they should really ahead of time know what is the lifetime value, of their donor, of their audience, before they go in there and say, okay, this is how much I could spend per lead. And then if you're first starting out, it takes a little bit of time to, really figure that out. I mean, you have to go through a good solid cycle of a campaign, to figure that out. But if you know that ahead of time, then when you go to invest in a CPL campaign, you can know what are safe to invest in, per lead.
Yeah, that's really good. So who would you say would be the best people to attend your session on some of the trends in digital advertising?
Yeah, so if you are currently already buying advertising, and you're looking for new opportunities, please check it out. And then also, if you're just buying Facebook right now, come and learn more about other opportunities to invest in, and if you are just starting out and wanting to know, like, okay, what's working now for ministries? I'll certainly, cover kind of those areas as well.
That's good. That's one of our goals for the digital ministry conference is to really have content that isn't just for the CEO, but is really for those directors and managers and the practitioners, those marketers, those designers, those programmers that are in the weeds. They're living out day to day. What are the issues and challenges that they're dealing with every day? Whether that be in the advertising front, we're going to have a session on design, some of the design trends, and specifically, I know one of the things that our team is super excited about is a new software product, and how we've actually cut down all of our. We no longer pay Adobe with their Photoshop and their expensive online model. We found a whole nother suite of system that has replaced that. And so it's those practical things that we're looking to bring to the ministries. And Doug, so we're just super, super thrilled that you're going to be able to join us and share some of your expertise. And we're hoping that the others, if you're watching this video, please be sure to attend, sign up. The conference is going to be June 17 and 18, and invite your team, invite your coworkers, invite your colleagues. It's going to be a great event. We've got a lineup of great speakers like Doug and others. So just really encourage you to sign up and come. Any last words that you have to say, Doug, before we part?
Yeah, I mean, I echo that. Please, come and watch these great speakers that their team has lined up. I mean, it's phenomenal. I've been to some of their events in the past, and 5Q just really brings great information and great speakers on these types of topics.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Doug. Thanks for joining us. And we'll look forward to seeing you in about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Awesome.
See you soon.
All right. Thanks.